Hello students, I Kamlesh Kumar. Welcome to all of you at my YouTube channel Social Science Academy. We are studying the chapter of Civics Class 9 NCERT book, and the chapter is the electoral politics. In the previous videos we have discussed many of the topics of this chapter, and the last videos we have already talked about the election campaign. In this video we are going to discuss the topic polling and counting of votes. So let us see. The final stage of an election is the day when the voters cast or poll their vote. That day is usually called the election day. Every person whose name is on the voters list can go to a nearby polling booth uh, situated usually in a local school or a government office. Once the voter goes inside the booth, the election officials identify her, put a mark on her finger, and allow her to cast her vote. An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth and ensure that the voting takes place in a fair way. So student, in the previous videos and previous classes we have already talked about that for a democratic election it is necessary to conduct it in a free and fair manner. uh, so here let us see the day when the polling take place. On the day of polling, certain time limit is given by the Honorable Election Commission. Then in between that time period, the eligible voters go to their respective polling booth where they cast their vote. Whenever they enter inside the polling booth, the election officials identify and match it with the voters list, and uh, after checking the voters identity card or any identification, uh, they allow the voters to go inside the polling booth and cast their vote. Inside the polling room where the electronic voting machine is kept and where the voters cast their vote, there are polling agents of different political parties who are contesting the election. The purpose of allowing to sit this polling agent over there, that they can observe that the elections are going in a free and fair manner or not. If they think that some of the candidates, some of the officials, or any person is trying to manipulate the voters, then they can claim that the voting is not going in a free and fair manner, and they can claim that the uh, it on that particular polling booth the voting should be rescheduled. So that is the scenario of polling booth. Now, earlier the voters used to indicate who they wanted to vote for, putting a stamp on ballot paper. A ballot paper is a sheet of paper on which the names of contesting candidates along with party name and symbols are listed. Nowadays, electronic voting machine EVM are used to record votes. The machine shows the names of candidates and the party symbols. Independent candidates too have their own symbols allotted by election officials. At the voter has to do is to press the button against the name of the candidate and wants to give her vote. So in the previous democratic election, what was going, the voters cast used to cast their vote on a ballot paper on which the names of the candidates was printed, and their party names and their symbols was over there, and they have to simply mark a stamp to the desired candidate to whom they wanted to elect, and it was to be dropped in a ballot box. So it was old era of democracy in India. Now we have modernized us with the changing technology, and we have introduced electronic voting machine in which the names of the candidates are given, and just the voter had to uh, press the button of the candidate, and one beep sound come out, and it indicates that the voters has casted the vote in a proper way. Once the polling is over, all the EVMs are sealed and taken to a secure place. A few days later, on a fixed date, all the EVMs from a constituency are opened, and the voters' votes secured by each candidate are counted. The agents of all candidates are present there to ensure that the counting is done properly, so that the candidate who secures the highest number of votes from a constituency is declared elected. In a general uh, election, usually the counting of votes in all the constituencies takes place at the same time on the same day. Television channels, radio, and newspapers report this event. Within a few hours of counting, all the results are declared, and it becomes clear as to who will form the next government. So after introduction of this electronic voting machine, the work of counting has become very very easier. It the results come faster, accuracy is more. In the previous era of the ballot box, some of the votes were counted as invalid because it was to be fixed, it was to follow in a proper way while folding the ballot paper. So this is not in the case of electronic voting machine, so it has many merits, and it is easier to conduct counting, and results come faster, and that's all the uh, counting of votes. So that's all in this video. In the next video we will talk about what makes election in India democratic, and independent election commission, the role of election commission. So thank you, keep watching, have a nice day. If you are liking my videos, please smash on like button, subscribe my channel, and share this video to all the students of class 9s who are your friends, so that they will also get benefited from this content. Thank you, have a nice day.